In this video, you're going to learn 7 key do's and don'ts in your singles matches. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm mehrban from Tennisfiles, where I teach you the latest strategies and techniques to help you improve your tennis game. And I've interviewed hundreds of the top tennis pros and coaches in the world on my podcasts and online tennis conferences. And today I'm going to analyze 5 points from a singles match between two 4.5 tennis players from the Troll Tennis YouTube channel. And big thanks to Troll Tennis, you should definitely check out their match videos and subscribe to their channel. And much respect to Subhash and his opponent for putting up this video of them playing and letting me analyze it. Now today I'm going to go through these points and point out specific do's and don'ts that are going to really help you improve your strategy in singles matches. Question of the day. Before we get into the singles strategy analysis, I want you to answer this one question. What is one strategic mistake that you make during your tennis matches? Let us know in the comments down below this video. All right, now let's get into the video. All right, so we've got our 2 players here, both 4.5 players, and let's start off watching the point. So we've got a standard tee serve here down the middle. And what I really like here is that this player makes it a point to run around and hit his forehand, which, as you'll see throughout this video, is his strength. And this is the proper play versus trying to hit your backhand, or you're not really trying, you're just not moving and hitting your backhand, which in 99% of the cases is our weaker shot. Instead, he goes to his strength. And so this is the first do, which is do hit as many forehands as possible. Many players are going to have slow footwork, but you want to be the one who has the intensity in their footwork to be able to go and hit that forehand to your opponent's backhand, hopefully. And speaking of which, I was on a recent webinar with Craig O'Shaughnessy and my friend Will Hamilton, and Craig showed a bunch of statistics that showed the forehand is on average 8 miles per hour faster, and you're going to win 2/3 of your points or even more than that using your forehand versus your backhand. So this is a great deep forehand here. And then we see another inside out forehand. And then Subhash here, he does a really smart thing. As you can see, he's on the run here. And what he does, instead of going for a low percentage shot, he instead hits a high, somewhat looping backhand back here that is fairly deep and to this player's backhand as well. So you're going to see this person now, it has to back off quite far behind the baseline. Hits a somewhat short-ish backhand back. And then what Subhash does next here is hit an excellent short-angled backhand. So that's really a really nice combination. So let's watch that again if we back up a little bit here. So once the forehand, then he hits the backhand very deep. Opponent backs off. Combination to the short backhand. Excellent stuff there. So that's the second do, which is do hit deep loopy balls when you're on the defensive. One more time. Deep backhand to the backhand, backs off, short ball. Very nice. All right, so now we go on to our second point here. All right, so here's the second point. We've got the serve, deep forehand, that's good. And now Subhash is the one who is running around to hit his forehand. As you notice, the ball came to the middle, and Subhash hits that good loopy back shot to the backhand. He does it again. This is an excellent shot. See how deep that landed? And so that is the third do, which is similar to the second one, but the second one was hitting deep loopy balls when you're on the defensive. Here is do hit deep loopy balls to your opponent's backhand, as we saw. And now Subhash gets the backhand and he hits that, again, kind of quite an angled backhand there. Let's look at it again, which is good. Very effective here. Deep, then short. And one thing that Subhash could have done, though, is he could have recognized quicker, perhaps, that his opponent was going backwards, and then he himself could have stepped in. As you can see here, he hits that ball, and then he could have actually, knowing that he hit that ball quite deep, he could have just stepped in and and been in even more of an offensive position, perhaps being able to approach down the line. And then we see here, this player is this is a very important point. You talk about positioning here, and look at how far back and wide the opponent is here. And let's think, okay, what shot is ideal here? Now, I personally think, given the positioning, you go down the line, and you don't have to rip it and hit a all flat type of backhand. You can even hit a loopy backhand, not even that hard. Obviously you want to swing fast to get the spin. But yeah, it's just positioning here, and now then Subhash would have to run all the way here. So let's see what is actually hit. Instead, the cross court, tough angle cross court, and I in this type of position that he was in, perhaps it was tough to control the shot. I don't know, but that's a very, very tough shot to make, being this far wide. If you were up in the court here, then it's much easier. Remember Subhash, when he was up, in the court a bit more, much better position than this, and he was able to hit that short angle there. And likewise with the first point, he hit the short backhand, but he was on the offensive. Now, hitting the short angle on the defensive is very difficult. So I would have liked the down the line shot here. Loopy's fine. You don't have to go for too much, or a similar shot to what Subhash did, which is hitting that deep loopy backhand right around here. So that is number 4, actually, which is don't go for low percentage shots out of position. All right, here's point number 3. We've got serve and return. So this is very good. We've got this nice offensive play right here. This is perfect. You have the individual in the white shirt. Sorry, I don't know his name, but he's hitting this inside out. Forehand, moving to it, and then approaching the net. All right. So look right here. We've got a good retrieval by Subhash. And then let's see the positioning right here, where the volley, that the very offensive volley position. You have Subhash is essentially all the way on this side of the court, and you've got the open court here. And so probably 95 times out of 100, I would be going to this open court. I mean, you can see here, you've got the momentum moving forward. If you just punch that ball, maybe with a little bit of redirection slightly, which you have time to do here, then you can just punch it this way. And especially if you don't have to hit it in the corner, but even if you hit it here, but you're hitting it to veer in this direction, the point is over. However, here, point number 5 that I'd like to make in this video is that to don't hit right back to the opponent, hit instead to the wide open court. And obviously there are exceptions. If you got an extremely quick opponent who is, and you see them, they have a good head start already dashing this way, that's a great idea. But what we see here instead is the volley goes right back, right back where Subhash was, and then now you're in a bit of a pickle, and then the great, the almost made the lob there, but it's very close. But again, if we look at how this point was played, we've got a nice return here. We've got a very good offensive ball, but right here, you've got this open court where Now you make the player hit a tough. It is a running forehand, but and I can understand. I mean, I've made this play before, trying to be a little bit too fancy, but you just want to play the percentages, hitting it right back here, even if the opponent is moving. It's much easier, much less distance for them to stop and then come right back, as you can see. So it comes right back and hits the lob. A little bit lucky that it went out. And one other choice that you have here is that you can hit, a shorter type of volley. I think, obviously, respect to both for having this video here, but I think that was probably one of the more suboptimal choices, because you also had the short angled type of volley, which would be okay. Less percentage. Again, you got to soften up the hands and then hit a short angle volley around here or so. But yeah, hit to the open court. Guys, just a quick reminder too, if you're enjoying this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you will receive a notification as soon as I publish new YouTube videos to the channel. I'd really appreciate it, and it would definitely benefit you as well to get the latest updates on all the content to help you improve your tennis game. All right, point number 4 here. Got a kind of a wide serve, good return down the middle. It's pretty standard forehands. And we've got a really nice switch to set up the point for the offensive here, backing the player up, even though it's a kind of a not a too deep of a return of a shot. It's still I think this player has a propensity to back off with backhands. Have the momentum shift back, which is probably something to work on. So then we've got the backhand, and then we have a offensive backhand. Deep forehand. It's good that this player then ran around to hit the forehand. And then now Subhash hits a great shot down the line here. And what I would like to have seen is for Subhash to have stepped into the court, because then you're going to have a more offensive shot and you're going to be able to push your, or rather, you're going to be able to cut off a lot of time for your opponent if you're stepped into the court, and because you hit the ball sooner, and you can just go to this open court here and be in a very offensive position. But nevertheless, a very nice angled forehand is hit here, and then again we want Subhash to be a little bit closer into the court, and then he does have a short ball. So once he has this short ball here. So, I mean, in the previous instance, we had the volley that this player hit back to Subhash. Now here we have like basically probably 99 out of 100 times hitting the forehand into the open court. It's very wide open. Player here basically just given up, from my viewpoint here. But then Subhash goes back to him. And again, this is something where, sometimes we trick ourselves into thinking, oh, the player is definitely 100% going to sprint to this side. So let me just hit it to that side, and then he'll be tricked. But, it's much better to play the percentages here and, go for that open court. Also, I didn't explicitly mention it, but point number 6 is do take advantage of short balls and follow them to the net. So that is a do. And then as we progress into this point here, again, we reiterate the same point as before, which is play the percentages and hit to the wide open court. You definitely want to do that. But instead, he's in a pickle and eventually misses that volley, that overhead rather. Point number 5 here, we see the serve again to the forehand. Standard play here. So that right there, I think that is a missed opportunity, having the ball be this short. Let's see it again. I mean, it bounced very short. Replay the point here. Forehand. Look how short that is. It's bouncing right about here. So again, you want to look at the visual cues of players in general. When you see the player kind of like backing up like that, like you see they hop back, then you know a short ball is coming, so you want to step in. But instead, you kind of far back now, and then you still can go up to the net here, but the opportunity is passed up. And then the good deep ball here. I like how Subash runs around. So there, I would say that Subash should have hit to the player's backhand. He had plenty of time here, but hits to the forehand instead. A nice ball there. And then here again, you see there is potential, especially if Subash had kind of reacted a bit quicker to come into the net here. Let's look at this again, kind of how it progressed. So yeah, if he had moved a little quicker, he could have sliced and come into the net. But again, more of the defensive. And I would have also liked this slice to go to the backhand instead of, now you're giving the opponent the positional advantage here by slicing right into the forehand. At least it's a bit low, but I mean, still this player can go cross court and give Subash problems. But let's see the point play out. So it's kind of a defensive forehand, and that's a nice forehand. That's a good forehand as well. And the point progresses into a kind of a grinder. Nice deep forehand there. Good reply. And that's a great loopy forehand. I would have liked the forehand, inside out forehand there, but it was fairly deep into the corner, so I can understand the backhand. And it's kind of, that's another shot where, again, taking the offensive, you see the player leaning back here, hitting that ball, shanking it. You want to move towards the ball instead of kind of backing up and hitting it. So you want to develop that ability to hit balls on the rise. And then here, this is a prime example of you're in the court, you've been playing this long grindy point, and just slice and come into the net right here, make the opponent hit a running forehand. Instead, what happens is this drop shot that is, it's a low percentage and maybe not executed as well as it could have. So percentage-wise, not the optimal play in my opinion here, but Subash gets a bit lucky here with that, just the miss there. So the lesson with this previous point is that you definitely want to be aggressive. I talked to Emilio Sanchez as well, and he said that you've got to take the aggression up a notch, and you don't wait for the ball. So get into the net there when you have the opportunity, and take advantage of the situation and put pressure on your opponent instead of letting the ball come to you. And finally, tip number 7, do videotape your matches and analyze your shot selection and positioning. Now, you're not going to realize your mistakes that you make on the court until you review your play and see what you're actually doing. Reviewing video of your matches is fantastic because, as you can see here in this video that I made for you today, we can pause, rewind, and slow down each point to really understand what we do well or not so well. Bonus time. One big bonus tip for you is that it is super easy to videotape your matches. All you need is a cell phone camera and a tripod, or even better, a GoPro or camera or video camera, and a clamp mount to clamp it to the fence. Now, if you want me to make a video showing you exactly how to record yourself playing tennis, comment below and let me know. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video and subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell icon so that you're notified as soon as I publish new videos. It'll really be beneficial to you, and it'll also really help the channel. Now, I want to leave you with this one last idea before I go. If you improve yourself 1% each day for an entire year, then after that year, you're going to end up 37 times better than you were at the beginning of the year. Now with that, just remember to keep improving a little bit every day, and you're going to see a huge transformation in your tennis game and your life. Thanks for watching. This is mehrban from Tennis Files, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.